If you're just starting out as a freelance video editor, in my opinion, this video may not be for you. I say that because I did not start making over $6,000 a month as a freelance video editor until just last year. And by the way, that's before taxes. It's taken me years of hard work and consistency to get to this point. If you're at the point where you're making money as a freelance video editor, but you kind of like to up your income a little bit, then this video is definitely for you. Here are some tips to help you maximize your income as a freelance video editor. Set competitive rates. Now, old me, beginner freelancer me, would have taken set competitive rates as do jobs for as little money as possible so that you get the job over someone else. Maybe that's the Upwork trauma in me. What instead would be the better thing to do would be to research the market around you for the similar jobs that you are currently doing or maybe are just one step above you and see what the general average is of those editors. How much are they getting paid? It may surprise you and may actually be more money than what you are currently charging for. I myself have taken a very slow approach to raising my rates because it can be tricky to raise your rates. It's kind of scary to pitch a number to a client that you think might be too high, but you really have no idea what the client is thinking. They may hear $60 an hour and think, yeah, that sounds about right. Which to me, that sounds horrifying and I would be super scared to charge that much. But people do it all the time. Video editors are doing it all the time. Now, maybe you did some market research and you kind of saw that you're kind of in a good range for what your skill set is. You can always consider changing the way that you charge. Maybe you currently charge by the hour, but it would get you more money if you charged by the day or by the project or had some sort of retainer model or package pricing on a monthly basis. Even if you don't do a complete overhaul of your business and the way that you charge, sometimes just having those options on your website for your next client could be beneficial. They can come to your pricing page on your website, they can see everything that you offer, and it might make more sense for them to take the higher price range for what they're looking for. And they never would have taken it if you didn't even offer it on your site. So just something to consider. Upsell additional services. Maybe charging enough isn't your problem. Maybe you do charge plenty of money for your services, and maybe you're getting good results from it, and maybe you're not. If you want to keep charging the same amount though, you could consider adding additional services to your repertoire. What are some other services you can include that complement video editing, that kind of go hand in hand? From what I've seen, a lot of clients are always interested in animation as a specialty service because people always love a good explainer video, and that definitely takes a special skill to create that. Graphic design is an additional skill. Social media management is a separate skill. Content writing is a separate skill. Video marketing is a separate skill. Consider what services you could add on to your business and either offer them to new clients coming in or even pitch them to the clients that you have now. Some clients have no idea what else you offer and they don't even think anything of it until you inform them, just so you know, I also offer this as part of my business. If you are interested, you may catch them on a great day where they happen to be looking for that service and they really don't know where to go. They're gonna want to turn to a person that they already trust since they already work with you. Upskill and specialize. Similar to upselling for your business, upskilling can also be a great way to have the confidence to raise your rate. Now, of course, as video editors, we should always be trying to up our game, learning new video editing techniques, learning ways to be more efficient, if not for anything, but just for ourselves, to be able to get edits done faster while maybe still charging the same, to be able to confidently create better edits for your client, which you can then put on your reel to appeal to your next incoming client. So keep up on new editing techniques and also consider what other genres are similar to the video editing that you do now that you can maybe tack on and do as even just a side gig from the main freelance work that you do. Wedding videos, corporate promos, even documentary filmmaking. Specializing in a niche itself is great. Specializing in more than one niche can help you be able to have the confidence to ask for higher rates and attract more clients seeking your expertise. And hey, if we haven't met yet, I am Colleen, and in this channel, I help you to get a video editing job and I help you get paid doing what you love. For me, that's freelance video editing. If it's also for you, I invite you to join my channel. It's nice here. So hit subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like button below, pretty please, so this video can spread to more people. Thank you very much. Increase efficiency. You know, one thing that I have always been really grateful for since the beginning of my freelance business really kicked off.
Say my name.
Was the help of my video editing assistant, Logan. Shout out to Logan. He's gonna be editing this video.
You're god right.
It was only with his help that I had the ability to take on more clients that I wouldn't normally be able to handle if it was just me, myself, and I. That, on top of the privilege of having this channel, has helped me to become as efficient as possible when working on all of the projects on a weekly basis. Now, we don't all have the need or luxury or ability to hire an assistant quite yet, and there may not be any need to. In fact, you really shouldn't hire an assistant until you've truly gotten to the point where you are maxed out on your hours and you have gotten to a point where you cannot do all the work alone and still have a positive well-being and livelihood in your life. But even if you're not outsourcing your work, find ways to streamline your workflow and increase efficiency so you can take on more projects and get paid more money. That's the goal. Maybe that's circling back, upping your skill level, utilizing AI to be able to move through these jobs faster. Maybe that's investing in tools and plugins and creating templates to automate repetitive tasks that you tend to be doing every week or every day to speed up your editing process. Build long-term relationships. You know, I've said for a while on my channel that this was something I prioritized early on, was long-term relationships with clients, mainly because it's hard enough on Upwork to get one job, let alone a consistent amount of jobs. And since I was utilizing Upwork at the time, I really wanted to just find 1 to 3, even 5 clients that were more long-term, even if it meant taking a lower rate. And I'm really happy to say that that has proven to work very well for me. I still have some of these clients, and even if I don't have those clients anymore, which I don't for some of them, I've established such a great relationship with them and just the vibes are good. And so I'm confident that if they ever have the ability to refer me, they would. If I can refer someone to them, I would. You don't necessarily get that with a little short-term project. You don't get to build that relationship and trust with an individual where you may even remember them 3 years from now. And for the clients that I have not lost and that I still have, I was able to confidently not only up my rate, but learn how to up my rate, learn how to send that email to increase my rate over time, and then do it more consistently. And I grew in a lot of ways thanks to those clients. So how do you build long-term relationships? Well, one, unfortunately, sometimes it means taking a slightly lower rate, but not necessarily, not always. But in terms of the actual work, offer excellent customer service, meet your dang deadlines, and essentially go above and beyond the client's expectations so they continue to just enjoy working with you. Again, happy clients are more likely to want to work with you again, and they're more likely to refer you to other clients. And that's the key. Diversify your income streams. You know, one thing that's always been a really scary thing for me to imagine, especially as I've been trying to simplify my business, is the thought of only having one client, putting all of your eggs in the basket of that client and having all your income rely on that client. It's kind of a scary thing. That client doesn't necessarily owe you anything. You may trust that client and they may trust you and it's a great relationship, but you just never know, which is why I'm so incapable of reducing myself down to just one client, because you just never know. So number one, make sure you have more than one client. One client is great. If you got one client, that's amazing. Don't just sit and be happy with that. Work towards having 1, maybe even 4 or 5 clients if you can. Or maybe you have one heavy hitter client, that's where you're making the majority of your money, and then you have just a couple small side gigs just in case something falls through with big client over here. Now there's other options that you can consider as well as far as diversifying your income. You can consider passive income as well to help support your business. Things like having a YouTube channel, selling online courses somewhere, selling digital assets, selling LUTs packages, shooting stock footage and selling that on Storyblocks, offering consulting services. All of these are slightly different options that aren't quite video editing related, but can help keep the business alive for you in different ways, because when it comes to freelancing, you never have total stability. That's just one thing that happens with freelance. And so any way that you can have these little bits supporting you, even if it's just in tiny ways, is going to help you in the long run. Again, if you made it this far and you're liking this video, I'd so appreciate it if you can hit the like button below so this video spreads to more and more people. And for more details on my Skillshare classes, including my newest Premiere Pro class, and to receive a free month of Skillshare, consider clicking the link in the description below, and that will take you right to my new class. Negotiate contracts. And you know, to be honest, I only have like one contract with one of my clients. The other ones are just written contracts via emails and the fact that I'm on their payroll system. So do as I say, don't do as I do, because contracts are a really important way to make sure that you are being taken care of in the event that you do run into an unfavorable situation with one of your clients. Now, let's say you have a base contract in place that you give to all your clients when they come in the door and they're wanting to work with you. When's the last time you have looked at that contract? Have you considered updating it? Maybe you could include an upfront deposit or milestone payments, or again, like I said before, a retainer for ongoing work. These things protect you so significantly when you are working with a client who demands consistent work from you. But if something ever happened and that client said, you know what, I'm actually not going to have any work for you this month, that really leaves you in the dust because you dedicated and took time out of your month and scheduled it out for work for that client. And if they're just going to screw you, essentially, you will have that contract to protect you in the case of that. I would actually like to hear your thoughts on this. If you guys have contracts, if maybe you are still on Upwork and so you're just relying on the contract of Upwork, which is a contract in of itself, but moving away from that and forming your own freelance business, how often do you use contracts? Do you use custom made contracts for yourself? Do you repurpose a contract that the client has sent to you? I think that having a really good, solid custom contract can take a long time, because for me, it took me years to really get a sense of how long it usually takes for me to edit things and how much I'd like to raise my rate for each individual client over the course of a year or 5 years. And particularly when it comes to big projects where there may be a lot of revisions. Something like that may require a good solid contract. It's just not the kind of work that I do, so it's just a little bit different. But if you do have contracts and you work with them a lot, I would love to hear from you. So please comment down below your experience with contracts, and we can all learn a little something. Market yourself effectively. We tend to forget that as freelancers, we are business people. And as business people, we do definitely need to market ourselves accordingly. Now, I often need to be reminded of this as well, and it kind of comes in phases depending on if I'm looking for new clients or if I'm not and I'm comfortable where I am. But even if I am comfortable where I am, I do need to be reminded that marketing is so important. Making sure that your website is updated is so important. And I need to get on that. Making sure that your LinkedIn is updated is important. Being present on social media is important. Essentially, reminding people of what you do and the kind of work that you do is important and is essential if you are looking for more clients for your business. There's no way they're going to know unless you market yourself, unless you're just waiting on some referral to get you where you'd like to be. But for as valuable as those are, they're pretty few and far between. So make sure you are fully updated online. Don't be afraid to go to more networking events. I just had a friend who goes to a lot of networking events tell me that she just booked one of her biggest clients yet through a networking event where she was just talking to someone and told them about what she does, and now it's one of your biggest clients. So let's not forget that we are just people trying to sell to people. Be genuine, be authentic, be organic, but always be selling. Now that you've got a good sense of how to go about increasing your income for your freelance business, check out this video next for more freelance business tips. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more tips on freelance lifestyle and video editing. Thank you to my team. Again, I'm Colleen, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Have the best one.